What's up, gamers? Today, we're playing some more freaking Higurashi. It's been a while. So, I think we can hop back into it pretty easily, I think. So, I mean, from what I remember, from freaking month or something ago, shion, yes. Drama, yes. I remember something spooky happening. We'll probably get reminded of it because we love how we love how Keiichi respond. Wait, no, it's not Keiichi anymore. It's actually Shion. Anyway, they always love repeating what they do. You know? Rena being spooky, right. Rena is spooky to literally anyone and everyone. She does not discriminate there. Alright. And I freaking didn't hydrate at all. So, oh, give me a second. What? Alright. Let's see. Good. Awesome. We did tips, most likely. We always do tips. Oh? Ah, it's been so long, holy heck. Oh. After the school day, you get tired. Understandable. Okay. President, if you would. For a moment, I forgot that the class president was me. I'll rise. Looks like you didn't get enough sleep. I know it's been very hot at night lately. But try to get as much sleep as you can. Alright, everyone? Yes, ma'am! Hut. I'm not sure this place can be called a school. Because there are so many different age groups. It's like a kindergarten and an elementary school blended together. Since I'd heard already about what this place was like, I didn't feel that comfortable. I didn't feel that uncomfortable. It wasn't too difficult to act like Mion here. Right. Oh god. She's gonna have to freaking pretend to be Mion. And Satoshi thinks that she's Mion. Oh, that's so awful. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about intro paragraphs, Raven. I appreciate it and I like your intro, but maybe not every stream. You know? As Sis told me, Satoshi-kun looked exhausted. I said hi to him, but he ignored me. Since I knew what he'd been going through, his pain looked apparent to me. I was interested in another person in this classroom. Satoko, Satoshi-kun's little sister. Right! Oh my god. The drama. The drama of freaking Shion probably murdering Satoko or something. Oh god, I'm really looking forward to what's gonna develop there. She looked as worn out as Satoshi-kun, motionless, like an abandoned doll. Everybody in this room was aware of their circumstances, but no one could do anything for them. So they just acted as though nothing's wrong. Mion only let me have this one day. If I slacked off even a little bit, today would be over with quickly. I had to figure out what I should do in this limited time. Should probably talk to Satoshi-kun. About what? Anything goes. Cheer him up, sympathize with him, anything will do. More than anything, I just wanted to chat with him. However, Sis had told me the typo. Look, there's only like 1 or 2 typos per entire chapter, so, you know, it's fine. She said Satoshi-kun didn't communicate much with her lately, and had distanced himself from her. Figured I shouldn't talk to him too casually. I wanted to, but maybe it was better to leave him alone. I needed to keep Sis's warnings in mind, but instead, I decided to ignore them. Of course, she decided to ignore them. Yeah, Shion don't listen to anyone. Not even her own sister. I looked for Satoshi-kun during lunch break, He was walking as if looking for a place where he could be alone. I caught him in the hallway. If someone is actively trying to be alone, let them be alone. God. Satoshi-kun! Satoshi-kun! He turned around, startled by my voice. His facial expression surprised me. He was scowling, clearly a sign of rejection. But I couldn't hesitate. I'd lose my only chance if I did. Hey, how are you? He gave me a look as if saying, do I look fine to you? I never expected to see an expression like that on his face. I felt like my heart was being torn into pieces. The whole Mion imposter situation kind of reminds me of this hit game Among Us. I swear, you're gonna be the only one talking about Among Us from now on. No one does that anymore. At all. As I looked down, he spoke to me. I felt a little glad, but the next thing he said changed that. I'm fine. Is there anything else? Eh? I'll get going if there isn't, because I want to be alone. Okay. I guess you're tired from work. I'm sure you want some time to yourself. You're working today too, right? Where at? Suzette found several jobs for him. He worked at a few different places. A few? God. I heckin' hope it's not more than 2. He was helping out when necessary at any of the shops Mion introduced him to. As a result, he constantly had to do different tasks in a different environment almost every time. Oh, that'd be so exhausting. On top of that, he requested high-paying jobs from Mion because he wanted a large sum of money as soon as possible. In other words, he chose to mostly do manual labor. He was exhausted every day because he wasn't that physically strong. Does it matter? Does it matter? And shouldn't you know because you helped me get the job? Mion did help him get the job, yet Satoshi-kun didn't look thankful for that opportunity. He needed to be corrected. This wasn't like him at all. It made me feel sad. You're right, sorry. Is that all? It sounded so harsh. Why was he being like that? Would he ever shook my head again? I couldn't help my tears. Oh my dude, that is frustrating. Look, Shion, this isn't about you. It is about Satoshi and Satoko getting actually abused, you know? This is not about Shion, and yet that's all she can think about is herself, you know? It flowed onto my cheeks. Satoshi-kun looked confused for a moment, but then he frowned again. Sorry. The coach said he wanted you to come back to practice. I told him I quit, so I won't be going back. But maybe it's a good idea to work out from time to time, you know? Not interested. I didn't know why he was being so hostile towards me. Why did he hate me so much? I was left bewildered. Why? How come? Because I'm busy with work? Isn't it obvious? No, I didn't mean that. Why do you hate me so much? Why don't you ask yourself? Ask myself? What? What did I do? I don't understand, Satoshi-kun. Couldn't control my emotions any longer. Streaks of tears ran down my cheeks. Satoshi-kun gave me a hateful glare and walked away without saying another word. I didn't think Satoshi actually hated her, but maybe he does. Couldn't even stop him. If I tried, he'd hurt me again with another cutting remark. Couldn't bear that. So I just watched him walk away. I wiped my tears and went back to the classroom. Heard somebody crying from the inside. What's going on? Looked around the room to see. It was Satoko. Saw her bento box on the floor. He asked one of her classmates what happened. It seemed that Satoko had bumped into somebody's shoulder when she stood up to go wash the box out. That was all. But Satoko was crying as if afraid she was going to be chided badly. What happened was very minor. She could just pick up the bento box and things would be fine. Looked like the lid came a little loose, but it was definitely fixable. She didn't have to cry like that. Oh, Shion. Ah. Okay. Yet Satoko started begging through her tears. Help me, Nini! What? Because of what happened with Satoshi-kun, I couldn't express my emotions very well. Oh, no. Please, Shion, don't do that. Do not do what I think you're about to do. Satoko is going through an actual crisis right now, having freaking flashbacks or whatever. And Shion is going to say something horrible, right? That's what's gonna happen. Hey, Dark, what's going on? So instead, they exploded. Shion! Oh, God. I stormed up to Satoko while elbowing her classmates aside. I grabbed her by the head and then threw her into the wall. What? Oh my God. That is extreme. Look, I get you're mad, but you don't just pick up a child and throw her against the wall. Like, by the head? Like, that's just validating like Satoko's traumas and like everybody hates her and she can do nothing right. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I wasn't freaking expecting that. Jesus. Satoko screamed. She didn't seem to understand what had happened. She was shedding tears and shivering. She must be wondering why I did that. You know, Shion, I'm wondering why you did that. Do you know why I did that? Help me. Satoko cried for her brother's help again. And so I grabbed her head and threw her again. What? Oh my God. Shion's an actual, like... Oh, wow. Shion thinks this is WWE. Apparently. God. Shion should have freaking stayed in that freaking Christian college or whatever the heck she was at before. Oh my God. Satoko stumbled and crashed into a desk. The desk fell and the contents of the drawer scattered about. Satoko didn't even stand up. She just crouched and trembled while looking up at me. Help me. If you weren't like that, Satoshi-kun wouldn't have to suffer, don't you get it? So I wanted to say. I was too angry to utter another word. Picked up a bunch of textbooks from the floor and threw them at her face. Oh my God! It just keeps getting worse. It just keeps happening. Oh my God! Where's the teacher? Where's Chie-sensei? Oh... Okay. Cry as much as you want, but nothing's going to change. Why are you crying? Because you think somebody's going to help you? You don't have any idea what he has to go through to protect you, do you? Do you understand that? Do you understand what you're doing? You shouldn't exist. Oh. Die if you don't want to suffer. Go fuck yourself. Wow. Oh. Don't hurt Satoshi-kun. You deserve to die alone. You just deserve to die. Oh. Everybody's just watching this. Well, I guess no one is as old as Shion and Mio and all them are. Where's Rika? Is she gone? Up until this, I could chalk Shion's emotions up to jealousy, but this is, I know, this is insanity. This is actual insanity, stalker, obsessive, you know? Her desperate cries only increased my irritation. Stop crying! Don't call your brother for help. Stop it. You weren't like that. If only you. I kept on throwing things at her. Satsuko curled up to protect herself and cried even harder. Finally! Rika! Savior! Holy heck. At that point, a girl with long hair ran up and huddled over her. I knew who that was. Rika Furude, one of Satoko's only friends. Please don't hurt her. She's in a poor situation, so please don't hurt her. Doesn't matter how pathetic she is. She shouldn't rely on Satoshi-kun all the time. She's in a poor situation, and then you call her pathetic. Like, I don't know if she sees what the problem here is, you know? Her being in a bad situation doesn't make her pathetic for like, you know? She can't do anything about it. She actually can't. She's like, what, 7? Ugh. Stop spoiling her. Satoshi-kun has to suffer so much because of her. No, stop. Oh wait, is that Rika? No, stop. Don't hurt her. Rika also became the target of my anger. I'm trying to teach her something here. You keep getting in the way, I'll crack your head open. Oh. What happened to her? Who hurt her? Who hurt Shion? Like, what happened? Like, I don't think Mion is this crazy, right? I mean, I think Mion is a little crazy, but if she touches Rika, she will pay. Yeah. Oh, I grabbed the chair and lifted it over my head. It wouldn't hurt only a little if I threw this thing at them. Rika tightly closed her eyes and covered Satoko with her body. I didn't care what the consequences would be. I didn't care if I hurt them. Stop! Mi-chan! Rena returned to the classroom and shouted at me. Then Satoshi-kun rushed in while pushing Rena aside. Get him! Oh my god, yes. Yes. Oh, I really thought she would get away with this. But I'm so glad she's not. Oh, this is great. This is awesome. Seeming to have grasped the situation immediately, he charged straight at me. Until my body had hit the locker, I didn't understand what had happened. There was a loud crashing noise. I'd left a dent in it. I crouched there in pain. Freaking good! God. Satoko, are you alright? Nini. What? Satoko pushed Rika aside, jumped at her brother, and started crying again. What happened? Why were you treated like that? Why? I didn't do anything. Oh wait, is that her? Who is this freaking talking? There's so many people in this situation now. I didn't do anything, but Mion-san, she suddenly... What's going on, Mion? Satoshi-kun shouted at me while clutching his sister. He looked fierce. He looked so hot when he's mad. Was that what Shion's thinking? What did Satoko do to deserve this? What did we do? Why do we always have to suffer like this? Why? Why? He released Satoko and rushed up to me, grabbing me by the neck. You said that I should ask myself, didn't you? Oh wait, you said I should ask myself, didn't you? So why don't you ask yourself? Ask what? Ask what? I know you feel she's a burden on you. You always have to suffer because of her, you know that, right? If she were stronger, you wouldn't have to suffer. She's the one to blame. I don't believe what I said was wrong. But after hearing it, Satoshi-kun went berserk. What? What the heck do you know? Ow! Satoshi-kun grabbed my hair and threw me to the wall, just like I did to Satoko. Heckin' revenge! Great. However, I wasn't going to back down. Shion! This is not a fight that you want to win here. You know? People who freaking seek out aggression, people who start fights and stuff, they just don't know when to stop. You know? It's not worth it, man. I no longer had any control over my emotions at all. You spent so much time protecting her. She'll never stop relying on you until you stop doing that. What the hell do you know about us? What the heck do you know? You persecuted our parents, and now it's us? That's the way of the Sonozaki family, huh? You torture traitors for fun? Is it fun? Is it fun bullying us? Huh? Stop it! Oh, that was Rena's voice.
Stop it!
Whatever. She stepped in, looking as fierce as a demon. Freaking good.
Satoshi-kun, please. Mii-chan doesn't have any bad intentions. She wanted to help you, but she's just lost control a little.
Rena, don't. Oh. I don't know if it's because Rena thinks that this is actually Mion, but there's no way Rena can see the situation and be like, ah, she's fine. She's just got a little out of control. Like, no, that is not okay.
Okay?
Yeah, Satoshi, don't take that. Satoshi-kun looked like he wanted to say something back, but he chose not to.
You too, Mii-chan. I know how much you worry about Satoshi-kun. But you can't solve the problem like that. I think you understand, right?
Since Satoshi-kun didn't say anything, I kept quiet too.
Here, Satoko-chan. You don't have to cry just because you dropped your bento box. Alright? Do you feel better now?
Ah, yes. All better. Thank you, Rena. They're a giant help.
Satoko, I'll pick up the bento box for you.
Rika started picking up the bento box while its owner continued to cry.
Guys, can you help us clean up?
Hello there.
Hello there, Sven. Rena's method is probably more effective than Shion's. Oh, well, 100% more effective, but it's like, Shion didn't help at all, and I'll say Rena helped like 50%. Sure. Yeah.
The teacher will be back from the vegetable garden soon. This quarrel's over, so don't tell her about it, okay?
Yeah, Shion made things worse. She did negative 100. Classmates looked up at each other and nodded, and started picking up the stuff on the floor.
Here, Satoshi-kun, Mii-chan, why don't you guys shake hands as a sign of reconciliation?
Don't. No. 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 This is not a thing you can freaking fix with a handshake. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Tears started to roll down my cheeks again. I'm sorry, too. You have nothing to do with our family situation. I'm sorry.
Okay. Mii-chan, why don't you apologize to Satoko-chan now?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Don't make her do that. I was fine with apologizing to Satoshi-kun, but I didn't want to apologize to her. But the situation wouldn't be settled otherwise, so I reluctantly apologized. Satoko nodded, looking discouraged. After that, Rena let me go. My head ached, so I held it with both hands. What was that? What did I do? You want to use this precious time to fight? Sis had warned me. She told me that I shouldn't talk to Satoshi-kun just like that. What did I come here for? I shouldn't have come here if I knew this was going to happen. Stupid, you're stupid, Shion. I was overcome by emotions because I was so worried about Satoshi-kun. When did things go wrong? Were they wrong from the beginning? I got into a fight with Satoshi-kun. This is the total opposite of what I wanted. I regretted it. I hated myself for it. Couldn't blame myself enough. My world had been torn apart. Wish the sky would fall and kill me. Wow. What a day that was. Sis sounded both amazed and confused. You know, I'm busy with the festival preparations, but you certainly made things more complicated. Sorry. Sis tried to say something, but she stopped in the middle. After listening to a few complaints, I started telling her about everything that happened today. Sis had to pretend that the trouble I caused today was her responsibility, which must have been very taxing for her. So I won't get the chance to trade spots for a while. Hey, I think you should be more aware of the hassle I have to go through. Yeah, you're right. Sis had been sympathetic, but maybe I pushed her too far this time. Of course, she'd be hesitant to trade spots, considering what I did today. The atmosphere felt awkward, so we were both silent for a while. If you were to get another chance, what would you do, Shion? Yeah, I have no regrets. No regrets. I would do the same thing again. That was a reasonable question. I wasn't prepared to answer, though. If I had the chance to go to school once again and see Satoshi-kun, what would I do? Would I apologize to him about today? I don't think that would work. I might even upset him again, no matter how hard I tried. Okay. Here's something that he was saying. It was the Sonozaki family who had been harassing his. It'd only be natural for him to hold a grudge against us. Why is he only expressing that now? I've been a Sonozaki to him all along. Satoshi-kun stroked my head even though he knew that I was Mio and Sonozaki. Sis, do you think that Satoshi-kun is holding a grudge against the Sonozaki family? I think so, yes. It was our family that initiated the persecution of the HEWWO family, making them into scapegoats. Right! It was the Sonozaki's fault that their freaking parents died. Straight up, it was their fault. Even after the dam conflict, it wasn't easy for the HEWWO family to live in Hinamizawa. Given all of that, it's not surprising that Satoshi-kun hates us. Sonozaki family put his family in a devastating situation. But why now? Why is he only expressing that grudge to us now? Why is this happening now? If he wanted to... If he had rejected me in the first place, I wouldn't have wanted to get close to him. My tears wet my cheeks. I didn't bother to wipe them. It's only natural for him to hold a grudge against the Sonozakis. Oh, I know, I just noticed. I just noticed the song. Is this really a time for Dear You? I guess. I don't know the lyrics, so maybe. There's nothing unusual about it. Rather, why has he been treating me like a friend? I knew how stupid this question was. I think it's because he was mature. I can't understand it. What? Wait. I can't realistically. He'd been treating me as a friend because he was mature? But now he'd become stressed mentally and physically. He decided to reject me? No matter how hard I thought about it, I couldn't find anything to fault him with. If there was somebody to blame, it'd be somebody I'd never accused before. Why did the hag decide to persecute the HEWWO family? Eh? It was his parents who supported the dam project, right? Satoshi-kun had nothing to do with it. Why was he included? Why? Mio couldn't say anything in return. Actually, it wasn't all that hard to guess the reason. Hag didn't give any specific order to harass the HEWWO family. She just thought the HEWWO family was getting in the way. People around her noticed what was bothering her, took steps to get rid of it. Though, of course, she must have known how influential her words were. She didn't just think it. She gave what must have known would be interpreted as an order. She's the one to blame for initiating the attack on the HEWWO family. You said before that the Furude priest wasn't mature because he didn't cooperate, right? Is this the same scenario? The HEWWO family wasn't mature because they didn't act in accordance with the other villagers? That's why the hag decided to punish them, isn't it? Mio couldn't say anything in return, meaning that my accusation was the truth. They already punished the HEWWO couple. Feel free to bring them to the torture room in the garden and chop their fingers off or something, but leave Satoshi-kun alone. Satoshi-kun had nothing to do with this. Has nothing to do with this. What did he do to deserve this? What did he do wrong? Answer me! Answer me, Mion! Mion! Very well. Please take care of the matter. Goodbye. Mion suddenly changed her tone and hung up. She must have done that to escape from my questions. I was furious. Started redialing the number, but then I remembered that we decided she'd hung up the phone after using that phrase when she saw the hag coming. Ah. Okay. I doubted she actually saw the hag, but it was the rule, so I couldn't call back for a while. Well, at least she respects that. God. I went to the bathroom to wash my face and cool down. I turned the faucet. The water felt lukewarm. It didn't help me cool down at all. I'm disgusted by my own childishness. I wanted to fill my void. I didn't care about him. Considering that, Satoshi-kun was very generous, but I don't know if I can forgive Satsuko. That's a different story. Notebook, page 26. So she has her own diary. Wow. Shion sucks. Shion sucks, doesn't she? Right? Right? Yeah, definitely. Myun, I guess, is the better sibling out of the both of them. I guess, I'd say. More like Shiton. Ha ha! Real. Actual real. I was looking up at the ceiling with my arms and legs spread out. It's not that I wasn't getting hungry. I didn't live with my parents. I didn't live with the school dorm. It meant I had to cook something myself when I wanted to eat. I knew that, but I still didn't feel like getting up. I've been Mio gang since day one. Well, I remembered in the anime I thought she was cool, but I guess I didn't remember properly what she had done. It had been several days since I began this empty life. Must be tomorrow. The Watsunagashi festival, I mean. I heard the doorbell ringing. I ignored it at first, but it rung persistently. I started hearing knocking alongside Kasai's rude voice. Shion-san, please open up. I brought some food for you. I didn't ask him to. He must have known that I hadn't eaten enough, that I'd been feeling down lately. You haven't eaten, have you? No, I'm not hungry. But when Kasai put the food on the table, my stomach reacted in a very primitive way by making some noise. Your stomach is growling. I believe you need to eat. I was hungry, but had no appetite. I mean, I did have an appetite, but didn't have the energy to eat. Yet I feel bad wasting the food Kasai had brought. Picked up my chopsticks just to humor him. I thought you were marked by the hag. Is it okay for you to be here? Audio-san is busy with the festival preparation meetings. She doesn't seem to have the time to deal with you right now. Didn't you like the croquets? What the heck is a croquet? I thought croquet was a sport. Crockets? Croquets? Chicken. Oh. Why the heck is it spelled like that then? That's not chicken. They're good. Thanks. While I nibbled on the food, Kasai read through the magazines I bought. Have you, oh wait, have you, it's French. Well, what is it French for? Chicken? If it's French for chicken, then just say chicken, right? Or unless it's special French chicken, I guess. I never talked to Kasai about something like this before. Since I've always believed myself superior to him psychologically, I hesitated to show my weakness to him. Jesus Christ. She just admits that. That kind of hardship is healthy for your age. Huh? Hey, do you know about that? Miyun-san told me a little about it. She said she wanted me to assist you. She did she? She looked worried. Your sister is looking out for you. Without responding, I threw the last croquet in my mouth. I thought you might want to know how Satoshi Hojo-kun is doing. I've gathered some information. Would you like me to report? That's not necessary. But since you went through all the trouble, I think I'd better listen. Yes, I chuckled, but stopped quickly as if thinking it rude. Seems that that Teppei Hojo has fled the premises. Seems to be staying at his mistress's place in Okinomiya. Teppei? Who's that? Oh, it's Satoshi-kun's uncle, huh? Their aunt, Tamae Hojo, Satoshi, and Satoko are the only ones living in the house now. Ever since Tamae had learned that Teppei had fled to his mistress, she's been in a foul mood. So that must mean that the aunt is being even nastier to Satoko. Satoshi-kun is taking even more indirect blows. Aunt and uncle were abusing both of them, not just Satoko. I don't know if she could realize that. I don't know about Satoshi-kun, but I heard that Satoko-san looks very miserable. The neighbors are spreading new rumors about her. Satoko looks miserable. I mean, Satoshi-kun must be going through equally miserable torture. Can't you do something about that aunt? Doesn't anybody talk about punishing her? She's also one of the remaining HEWWOs after all. The uncle's gone, so why not the aunt? The main Sonozaki family ruled against further harassment toward the Hojo family after the death of the couple. Said the police still might be staking out their house due to suspicions about the couple's death. Their deaths have been filed under Oyashiro-sama's curse, so the Sonozaki family thinks no further divine intervention is necessary. Kasai put on a faint smile. Come to think of it, it is hard not to suspect the involvement of the Sonozaki family in all the incidents said to be Oyashiro-sama's curse. Somebody strives to get rid of the hag's concerns on the day of the Watsunagashi festival. Furthermore, the Watsunagashi festival is going to be held tomorrow. Will the curse strike again this year? If so, who will be the victim? Now that I think about it, there were cases of multiple victims in the past. First and third year, it was just one, but the second year the victims were a couple. It wouldn't be too strange if 2 people fell victim this year. Seems like a good time. It'd be best for Satoko and her aunt to be the victims. Wow! Okay, the aunt I can understand, but Satoko? Come on! Wow. Satsuki-kun will be freed from every source of his worries all at once. Kasai, do you know if this year's victims has been selected already? Yeah, I don't think he can respond to that. Does the hag make the decision? If so, Sis should know about it by now. Kasai, do you know anything? Shion-san, I don't know anything about that matter. Well, that makes sense. Kind of secret won't make its way to you because you're just the small fry. Wow! That's true. I've never received any information regarding that from my connections. But as you know, the Sonozaki family has access to many underground organizations, which I have no channels into. Maybe I could try asking Sis about it. She won't talk. She's strict about keeping promises, unlike me. If the hag told her to keep a secret, she'd take it to her grave. Damn. I hope Satoko and her aunt will go missing this year. You can't just say that out loud. It's one thing to think it, it's another thing to actually say it. Yeah, Kasai, don't say anything. Hey, Kasai, I just thought of that. Aren't you going to do something about it? Oh. Shion is not Mion, and Mion is not the hag, as you'd say. Shion-san, you must be joking. Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, you're not. No, you're not. Oh my gosh. So a lot of the times when freaking bad people make jokes and they say like, oh, it's just a joke. No, it's not. Half the time, they mean it, but they just don't want to hurt people's feelings, so they just say, oh, it's a joke. You know, there is some truth. There's some genuine feeling. Maybe Shion? Yeah, no, she's not. We already know who's going missing, you know? It's freaking Satoshi going missing and his aunt dying. That's the 2 events that are going to happen. I took a glimpse at Kasai. It didn't look like he was actually going to do something to make my wish come true. Wasn't able to go to the villages myself, so I definitely wasn't going to the festival. I didn't care about that. Even so, I was interested in who was going to end up as the victim of the curse. If I just kept lying on this couch playing hooky, somebody would fall victim in several hours. I had no clue why it had to happen every year, but I was certain that the hag was behind it. All of the enemies from the dam conflict had been punished. Only the Hojo couple was left, since most of the other enemies had already gone. But if I believe hard enough, maybe the story will change. Yeah, sure. Yeah, keep believing that. Cicadas were crying loudly outside. It made me feel hot. Why was it this hot and humid in June? I'm asking the same question. If Higurashi-sama was actually punishing people, I'd pray for one thing. I'd pray that the evil aunt would be punished, and I'd offer up Satoko as the sacrifice. Ha! It's hot! Real, it do be hot outside. When I woke up, Kasai had already gone. Looks like he cleaned the table in the surrounding room. Put my dirty laundry into the hamper in front of the washing machine too. Being a girl of a sensitive age, I didn't want a man to clean my room. Well, I'd rather thank him than badmouth him. I looked at the clock. It was late afternoon. I had to go grocery shopping. There's nothing left in the fridge, and I'd be just having rice for dinner if I didn't go. At that moment, phone rang. Oh, today is Watanagashi, right? Must be Kasai, I thought. I did hope it was him. Could have brought more food. Wait, no, it's just the late of that day before. Okay. He could have brought more food, so then I wouldn't have to go shopping. Well, I was just being lazy. I didn't feel like going out at all. But it wasn't Kasai on the phone. Sis? Where are you calling from? The house? No. I'm calling from a payphone. Oh wait, no, I'm calling from a payphone, so I'll make it quick. Satoshi called me. Satoshi-kun did? He called you? It probably wasn't me he wanted. He called you, I think. Sounded like he wanted to apologize for what happened the other day. So I thought you should take the call. I told him I'd call back because I was busy. So, can you call this number? Okay. I was stunned for a second, but then recovered and wrote down the number on the back of a magazine. Thanks. I'll call right away. Good. He's been extremely stressed these days. I don't think he'll listen to me anymore, but I think he'll listen to you. She could have pretended to be me and handled his call. She passed it over to me. Thanks, Mion. See you, Shion. Before she hung up, I put the handset down. Then after a second, I dialed the number in a flash. I don't think Mion should have left this to Shion. I don't know if Mion understands how unstable Shion is. Right now, anyway. Or maybe she does know and just like, eh. I heard the dial tone 3 times, 4 times, and there he was. HEWWO residence. Sounded like an adult. His voice sounded a bit tired too, but it definitely was the voice I loved. I got scared. I was scared that he might become sulky again if I mentioned my name. I wouldn't open my mouth for a while. Is that you? Is that you, Satoshi-kun? Oh, sorry that I called you so suddenly. Are you okay now? That was the Satoshi-kun I knew. He didn't sound cold like the other day. Yes, I'm okay now. Good. After that, he went silent. Felt the urge to start a conversation. It wasn't fair. He was the one who called in the first place. Gah. Then, he finally spoke. I'm truly sorry for what happened the other day. I'm sorry too. You don't have to apologize, because I was the one in the wrong. If this were a face-to-face conversation, he would be stroking my head. But you can imagine it, and it's just as fine. But no, Satoshi-kun should not apologize for how he acted. He was completely in the right, and Shion is dumb. Yep. It was just sad talking to him over the phone. I won't forgive those people who forced us into this situation. You might be close to them, but it was never you personally. So I wanted to apologize. No, please don't apologize. I was selfish and didn't try to understand your situation very well. We apologized to each other a few times. Are you alright? Oh wait, are you alright, Satoshi-kun? You're working and you're under a lot of stress. Isn't that too much to handle? I quit my job, since I have enough money now. Oh, the plane is going in motion. This is the last conversation Satoshi will ever have with anyone before he disappears. You did? That's good. You don't have to push yourself anymore then. That's really good. Satoshi-kun tried to say something, but he dropped it instead. Satoko has it far worse than me. Oh. Seems like it. Seems like it. Seems like it. Is she alright? Does she look alright to you? suddenly sounded upset. I'd messed up. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was so stupid. I'd ruined this miraculous conversation with him. Satoshi-kun didn't respond to my apology, so I stopped apologizing. She was tortured until she was literally torn up, and everybody abandoned her. Everybody did. I didn't. No, yeah. I didn't. I tried to calm him down. I hated what I just said because of how low it sounded. Yeah, because it was not the truth. I had no idea what to say next. I felt guilty. Satoshi-kun was desperate to protect Satoko from their evil aunt. But I'd wish that Satoko would die tomorrow because of the curse. I was trampling on his desperate hope. Satoko can't take it anymore. So... He cut himself off in the middle. Went quiet for a moment. Must have been choosing his words carefully. Then he finally spoke. His words sounded hollow. I mean, I wanted to have fun for one night. Huh? What do you mean? The Higurashi's festival's tomorrow, isn't it? I want you to take her there. Yeah, I can do that, but why? She's exhausted. So I think she'd be happy if she could get away from our aunt for even just one night. But why? Why? It's not that I didn't understand why he wanted her to be taken to the festival. What I didn't understand is why he was asking me to do that. Was there any reason he couldn't take her there himself? I had a hunch that he might disappear, so I kept asking. What do you mean, why? Why don't you take her yourself? He fell silent. Satoshi-kun isn't good at lying or keeping secrets. It was clear he wanted to hide something. I just have some stuff that I need to take care of with my work tomorrow. So I can't go to the festival. But you quit. Satoshi. He was lying. But he was also stubborn. He would admit it if I accused him. Mion, can you take her there tomorrow? I wouldn't want to look after Satoko, even at Satoshi-kun's request. But I'm also glad he's relying on me. I know it's ridiculous to ask you for help after that incident, but you're the only person I can turn to now. I didn't know what to say. I did know, though, that I wasn't going to turn down his request. Okay, but just for tomorrow, alright? I hope you'll keep looking after her. What are you saying? I won't do that. Just for tomorrow. He sounded as if he were going to disappear tomorrow. I didn't like the sound of that, so I intentionally sounded sulky. We talked about trivial stuff for just a little while. When the conversation was almost over, Satoshi asked something else. Well, it's not ominous foreshadowing. Well, at this point, it's freaking chapter 5. We already know what's going to happen. So there's no really need for the foreshadowing, but Satoshi definitely is horrible at lying. So he's definitely making it. He knows he's gonna do something. He knows probably what might happen, you know? Do you know? I think I know. I think I know. We know the end result, you know? There's also the part in an earlier chapter where Shion was like, you sound exactly like Satoshi before. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, it was the same situation with Keiichi, where, Keiichi was like, oh, can you take Satoko to the festival? Because I need to take care of some stuff. And Mion was like, you sound exactly like, Satoshi, right? Yeah. I don't know. Same kind of situation, but... Hey, Mion. I really hate asking this since you think I might be crazy for saying it, but... Huh? What? You... don't believe in it, right? Believe in what? In Oyashiro-sama's curse? What are you talking about, Satoshi-kun? Oyashiro-sama curses those who leave the village, right? That's the rule. That's the rule. Every kid in the village knows that. That's the rule. What's with that suddenly? Are you planning to leave? Though I was kidding, I wanted him to deny it. I'm not thinking about that anymore. He admitted that he had thought of it. Guess Ren told me that much. That's good. So you're not leaving the village? No, but I haven't been forgiven yet. Huh? Satoshi tried to say something but hesitated. He was breathing so heavily. Was he sick? He hasn't already killed the aunt, has he? Hey, do you feel alright, Satoshi-kun? Sorry. I'm fine. I guess you're tired. Think you should get some rest. He sounded distinctively more sick from when this conversation had started. He breathed heavily when punctuating his words. Satoshi-kun repeated his question. Mion, I'll ask you one more time. Do you believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse? What do you want me to say? Can I make him feel relieved with my answer? How should I respond? The answer was simple. There's no curse. It can't possibly be. I didn't know what was bothering him, but I wanted to make him feel better by laughing his worries away. But Satoshi-kun instead fell silent. I couldn't tell if he was happy with my answer or not. One thing was certain. I didn't make him feel any better. Sorry I asked such a weird question. Sorry. Felt like I had let him down, so I apologized in a rush. Whether it's a real curse or somebody's conspiracy... I won't disappear, and I won't fall victim to it. You won't disappear? No. Not until I buy that teddy bear. I'll get the money pretty soon. Won't go anywhere until then. He chuckled. I knew he was trying to relieve me, but it worked the opposite way. It sounded as though he didn't care what would happen after he bought that teddy bear. Oh, my aunt is home. I have to go. Oh, okay. Mion. Huh? He really wanted to hang up the phone because of his aunt coming back. Satoshi-kun took a breath to tell me something important. I'll leave Satoko to you. I should have said yes right away, but I still couldn't forgive Satoko, so I just kept quiet. Good job. Forget what I said. Bye. Oh. He was obviously disappointed. What had I done? Wanted to apologize. I wished I could. But it was too late. The dial tone left no doubt. Now that was depressing. God. I was thinking of something while I was reading that. I was thinking... what was I thinking? Hold on. Oh wait, you've received a new tip, a torn diary? What was I thinking? I was like, I'm gonna save this thought and I'll read it after I finish this part. But then I have forgotten. God. I was thinking, give me a minute. I was thinking, nah, it's gone. Wait, no, I got it. Okay, right before Keiichi, did his thing with freaking killing the uncle, right? He was experiencing all those freaking symptoms, right? Or was it after that he killed her? I thought it was before, like the constant footstep behind and the presence and stuff like that. I wonder if Satoshi's experiencing that same thing right now. Maybe. Tips! Yay! We love more diary junk. A torn diary. Rena said he was. Yeah, I was just wondering if that was before or after the act was committed. I think it's before. So, yeah. Somebody whispered to me from behind. They told me that I was going to be the victim of the curse this year. So I'm going to disappear soon. There'll be nobody left to take care of Satoko. Oh, this is... Oh. This is Satoshi's diary. Somebody whispered to me from behind. They told me I don't have much time. That I won't stay as myself for much longer. So I had to make the best of the days I had left. What could I leave for Satoko? She wanted that huge teddy bear. She wanted a peaceful life in which nobody would bully her. I whispered to the person at my back. Bestow your violent nature and formidable strength upon me. I want your peaceful mind, filled with hatred. Dang. So the diary is Satoshi's and the notebook is Shion's. Yeah. Dang. Holy heck. Wow. Heckin' wow. I'm freaking gonna keep going. The day of the Watsunagashi Festival. June 20th, 1982, 1:40 p.m. Man, I want to say more about the theories I have, but it includes information that hasn't been revealed yet, so I can't say anything. I don't know when what I know gets revealed, but I hope it's soon so I can start freaking talking about it. But what was I doing today? Nothing in particular. Nothing at all. Just wanted to play hooky. Woke up in the afternoon. I ate instant food for lunch while watching boring TV programs. I had a little headache. I had a light headache, so I lay down on the sofa. I wouldn't wake up again if I went to sleep. Whatever. So I decided to sleep. I'd already told Sis that Satoshi-kun had asked her to look after Satoko. I didn't have to do anything myself. Fell asleep, although my head was aching a little bit. That would be all I have to deal with. June 20th, 1982, 5:02 p.m. The aunt believed that all the villagers frowned upon her because of her brother-in-law and his wife were pro-dam activists. She surely experienced some fallout during the time of the dispute. People had stopped looking coldly upon her, even though she assumed otherwise. She was paranoid, believing that all the villagers hated her. And so, she decided to hate them back. Her attitude, of course, begot hatred from the villagers. And the situation became exactly the way she thought it was from the start. The self-fulfilling prophecy. It's something fulfilling prophecy. Freaking, you think it happens, so you act like it'll happen, so it actually happens. God. That's so fun. What came first, their poor relationships with the neighbors, or her husband's affair. She didn't know herself. Husband claimed that he gotta love her because he was fed up with her attitude. That's the right term? Nice! Yeah! I'm always nervous saying, like, psychology junk because I can't remember if the phrase is correct. Alright. She, in turn, claimed that their relationships with the neighbors were sour because her husband had damaged their reputation. Only Satoshi was aware that both happened at almost the same time. Their quarrels had become a daily routine now. When the husband returned home late, the wife would shout at him in the entrance. Satoshi wondered why they didn't get a divorce, their marriage being as rotten as it was. But he secretly knew the reason for that too. Weren't you a psych major? Yes. Yeah, I do have a degree now in psychology, but I'm still nervous saying it because I don't want to... It's like, you know stuff, but you don't know it like 100%, right? Like everything or most of the things I say, I don't know 100%, so I leave that 1% of maybe I'm wrong, you know? So I always get nervous about it, but yeah. It was the fortune his parents had left. His aunt had hidden their bank book and stamp and never allowed her husband to ask access to them. So her husband would search the house for them. She'd find out he stole some money from her purse. This would cause yet another fight. Satoshi had never been aware that his parents had that much money when they were alive. After their death, however, one of his relatives told him. He was informed that his parents had left a large sum of money in some bank account. Satoshi couldn't understand why they had this kind of money, because his family had been, as far as he knew, poor. It was because of the dam project. His parents probably got the money in return for their cooperation with the government. They had strived to get more villagers on their side, provided information to them and whatnot. The money was probably compensation for their efforts. His aunt and uncle never had any intention to adopt them until they heard about the money. Oh, God. Well, I guess that makes sense, because they literally would not adopt them under any actual loving, caring circumstances. After someone from some financial institution revealed its existence, they appeared to adopt Satoko and Satoshi. The couple would fight every day. Eventually, Satoshi's uncle started spending more time at his mistress's home. He realized they had no reason to return to his own home, because he'd just end up in a fight with his wife as if he did. When he stopped coming home, Satoshi felt relieved. Neither the uncle nor the aunt treated the two siblings very well. Satoshi's aunt wouldn't have to vent her frustration upon them. The reason the couple fought was their corrupted relationship, so if they separated, there wouldn't be any more fights. Satoshi had thought that at first. But even after they separated, his aunt still had a short temper. Another woman had stolen her husband. The villagers must have been talking behind her back. It was mortifyingly embarrassing. Since she had lost an opponent to fight, Satoshi's aunt directed her hatred toward the siblings. Satoshi had been observing her. He learned when she would get upset and how to avoid her attention. He managed to get by without upsetting her by turning a keen eye to her behavior and avoiding conflicts. But Satoko couldn't do that. She hated her aunt and didn't even try to hide it. Satoshi told her to behave in their aunt's presence, but her eyes were always filled with hatred. Satoshi strived to reduce the conflict between them as much as possible. He stepped in to mend their relationship. It was a heavy burden for him, though, because he was still just a boy. He bore so much. He covered for his little sister by lying and maneuvering. He tried to maintain a tangible sense of peace. But he couldn't do that forever. The relationship between Satoko and her aunt had already spiraled out of control. Satoko found something in the trash. Probably wasn't a legitimate place for trash disposal. If it was, sanitation workers would come and pick it up. He passed by this street all the time, so he noticed when there were new things dumped there. He found a plain-looking desk, of the kind likely to be seen in offices. Somebody must have dumped it within the past few days. His aunt liked to bring usable trash home. She'd had Satoshi help bring a chest home just a few days ago. That's why they live in freaking hoarder's nest. There's so much junk in there. If he told her about the desk, she'd want it. His aunt hated to find bugs and garbage in the drawers, but she'd always open them to check before carrying the thing home. Satoshi opened all the drawers, all of which were empty. After that, he turned around and walked for about 5 steps. He was standing in a knee-high bush. There, he laid something he'd been carrying all the time until today. A baseball bat? It'd be very hard to find unless you specifically knew it was there to begin with. Looking satisfied, Satoshi looked around for some landmark to remember the place by. June 20th, 1982, 5:51 p.m. Yeah, because this is Watsunagashi Day, Festival Day, whatever. So he is in process of committing the murder. Hey, old pal! Arr! I see you showed up again this year. You better get ready for us. Gwahaha! You're as peppy as ever? Wait, is Shion here? Or is this still POV? Oh? She a newcomer? Uh-huh. This is Rena Ryugu. Oh! Right, Rena just moved this year, so she hasn't been to a Watsunagashi, right? Don't underestimate her, she's good.
No, I'm not. Nice to meet you.
Yo, you too! Brought all kinds of prizes this year. There'll be a real battle to win. Try and take them all with you if you can.
Rena tends to dote on cute stuff.
Yeah, that stuffed animal looks just like her type.
Oh,
Oh, Ah, here we freaking go. I don't think we've gotten a single one of these this entire chapter, so, you know, her freaking whole, I want to bring it home quota has been fulfilled.
So cute. I want to take it home with me.
Hey, the booth isn't open yet. Whoa! You know, it's such like a wholesome situation, but the background music is just telling a different story. Stop it, Rena. Says the booth isn't open yet. Can't run him into the ground once he opens up? You can run him into the ground once he opens up.
Oh, it's mine. I'm taking it home.
Rena lost her marbles over the stuffed animal. Everybody laughed. Everybody clapped and stood up. Everybody except Satoko. Oh, holy heck. That is probably the creepiest Satoko sprite I've ever seen. Just the way the freaking mouth is positioned on her face makes it look way higher and to the right. Like, okay. She was standing by herself some distance from the crowd. Her eyes looked dull.
Meep. Oh, what is it, Rika?
Rika walked up to Satoko, smiling ear to ear in an effort to cheer her up.
Forget your worries today. Let's just have fun.
Yeah, I don't know if she could just do that. It's really hard when you're dealing with something like that to just put it in the back of your mind. Satoko looked down. Even if she got to have fun today, her circumstances at home wouldn't change.
Satoko, your evil aunt isn't around. I know that. So why don't you have some fun? Nipa.
Our Nipa quota has been fulfilled as well. Let's go!
Nipa.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, do it again. It'll work eventually. Satoko's not having it.
Nipa.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I don't feel like it. Could you please leave me alone? Why aren't you smiling?
Satoko sulkily glimpsed at Rika. She gave her a look, as though she wanted to say that Rika should know the reason. Even if she could have fun today, nothing would change between her and her evil aunt. No matter how fun the festival was, when she went home, her aunt would be there. The aunt would find something wrong with Satoko, get mad, shout at her so loudly that the neighbors would hear. How can she have fun, even just for today, while knowing all that? Satoko didn't say that out loud, but her eyes betrayed her emotions to Rika.
So, Satoko, if your suffering ends today, will you smile?
Satoko gasped. She thought that Rika might do something to help, but soon after she realized that Rika was just trying to comfort her. Could her suffering end today? Because of Rika? How? Satoko knew that there was really nothing that Rika could do. And so, after one moment of freedom, Satoko fell into a depression again.
Rika, don't give me false hopes. Satoko.
Rika's voice was clearer than Satoko had ever heard before. Rika knows. Rika knows.
It's already been decided.
June 20th, 1982, 8:11 p.m. It's not 8:11. You see that freaking sky? That's so bright outside. Jeez. They have so many different backgrounds for every time of day, but not one this angle for nighttime. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Things happen. Sachi snuck out of the window after supper. He heard the distant ruckus of the festival. Festival would end at 9 p.m. After the Watsunagashi ceremony, there was going to be a raffle drawing. So there were two types of people in Hinamizawa. The people who would go home for dinner, and the ones who would stay until the raffle was over. Either relaxing at home or still at the festival. There were only those two patterns. On top of that, there weren't many neighbors in the vicinity of Satoshi's house. As a result, he found nobody on the streets. On that night, the small village seemed especially desolate. Satoshi knew it was going to be like this, but he would keep worrying until he saw it for himself. Hydrate. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Heckin' hydration break. Ah. Thank you. He was barefooted, but started running without hesitation. Oh, his poor feeties. He felt as though he'd become a wild animal running on his bare feet. Got the impression that he could run faster than usual. Isn't that a thing? That's so true, though. You just feel faster when you can feel the ground underneath, you know? Feel the freaking ground moving underneath you. Somehow you feel faster than with shoes on. Not only his running ability, his vision, his hearing, and his sense of smell. All his senses were keener, including his sixth sense. Sixth sense? He could almost sense the presence of people in the distance, if only when crouching like an animal. It felt strange, as though he had stepped into another world. He had been feeling tense and anxious until today, battling with his own fear. But now he felt as though he had metamorphosed into a different person. June 20th, 1982, 8:37 p.m. So it's been like 20 minutes. Alright everyone, I'm going to explain how the raffle works. Please gather around the altar. The festival had reached its climax. The raffle was going to start. Both the women who were dancing and those who were waiting for the raffle gathered around the altar. This was the first time they'd held a raffle. The planning committee decided to hold one from this year onward to attract more people to the festival. At first, the prizes were things the committee members had donated, but Oreo, not appreciating how pathetic they looked, had them thrown away. Oreo took the initiative and bought a brand new TV, a washing machine, a cooling fan, and other such things for the raffle. Dang! Those are freaking good stuff. The committee wanted to keep it small initially, but turned out big thanks to her. Oreo was upset because the committee members weren't enthusiastic enough, in her opinion. How do I enter this raffle? Well, first, you gotta be in Watsunagashi. And second, I don't think you would want to be there. First, you're like an enemy to the village because you don't live there. You know? It's just not good. Not good. I don't think a TV would be worth that. Just like the slight chance that I would gladly risk death for the raffle. Out of all the options, are you after the TV, the washing machine, the ceiling fan? You know, they probably don't have freaking electronics because it's freaking 1900s, but maybe they have a Game Boy or something. IBM machine, perhaps. Some of the members thought it would be very difficult to prepare prizes of equal value the following year, so this might be the very first and last raffle. Thanks to you, we have such wonderful prizes this year, Oreo-san. Must have cost a lot, didn't they? We can reimburse you from our budget. They weren't going to. Buffoon! No point in reimbursing that. It was never about the money. Idiots. Now, don't say that. This raffle's all thanks to you, Oreo-san.
It's not like I'm doing this all by myself. Don't be ridiculous.
The mayor, Kimiyoshi, was having a tough time pacifying Oreo. All of a sudden, one of the committee members burst into the tent in a rush. He looked upset, so Kimiyoshi assumed that somebody probably got hurt in an accident. What's going on, Makino-san? Hope you're not having a heart attack. Kimiyoshi made a joke to calm him down. Oh, this guy, Kimiyoshi. What a nice guy. I hope nothing bad happens to him. Makino, however, still looked tense. He whispered something to Kimiyoshi. Even without hearing the exchange between Makino and Kimiyoshi, it was plain as day there was bad news. Oreo-san, I have unpleasant news if you don't mind. Kimiyoshi, accompanied by Makino, moved to Orio's side and spoke in a very serious tone. Kimiyoshi whispered to her the exact same words Makino told him.
Oh dear, this is bad.
Ain't unexpected. What happens thrice will happen a fourth time. That's not funny, Oreo-san. You're right, it isn't. Just another hassle. Police are trying to identify the body. I heard that the face was completely destroyed, so it'll be difficult. It's quite clear who it is, though. Eh? Do you know who it might be? Odio glared at Kimiyoshi, then started chuckling. Idiots! Must be some impudent lad who didn't come to the Watangashi festival. People who respect Odio-sama won't get involved in something like that. Odio kept laughing. Kimiyoshi and Makino didn't know how to react to that. Yeah, she freaking knows. They know. People who respect Yashiro-sama are protected from something like that, and they would most likely do something like that, wouldn't they? June 20th, 1984, 9:04 p.m. Therefore, Watanagashi is over, everybody's going home. Death has occurred, most definitely. Who knows if Satoshi is still here, though? This is merciless. Oishi! Oishi-san! I'm so glad to see his beautiful face. God. Kuma-chan, every death is merciless, unless the dead wish for it. They have my condolences. How's it going over there? Did you find something that could identify the body? The forensic investigators shook their heads. The victim was wearing sandals and casual clothes. It must be from this neighborhood. You should be able to identify the corpse by just asking around. Who is here and who is not here? Let's do a head count. You know, the village is that small. That's the way we do it. Section manager says this case might become classified, so be careful with that. Gotcha. Kumagai gathered some officers and gave them directions. Dr. Irie has arrived. Doctor, it's over here. Young doctor got out of his car and headed in the victim's direction. Hello. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I had to help with the raffle. Why did you have to... Okay. You must have drunk a lot at the festival, doctor. Are you sure you're sober? Maybe I should run a breathalyzer test on you just to be safe. I'm fine. My assistant is driving. Ah, okay. Clever of you. Hey, let the doctor pass. There was an area cordoned off with blue plastic sheets. An officer rolled up the sheet and let Oishi and Irie pass. Picture-taking noises. The forensic people were taking photos from many different angles. Blood splatters and the bloody sandals were left untouched, marked with the chalk and indicated with small alphabetized plates. I'm not used to seeing things like this. Irie took out a handkerchief and covered his nose. You should breathe through your mouth. Well, you might sense the smell visually, though. The body appeared to be that of a middle-aged woman. It was soaked in blood. Looked like a middle-aged woman because of the hair and what she was wearing. Reason why no one could be certain it was a middle-aged woman was because its face was completely pulverized. This is brutal. I'm sure it was done out of malice. The victim must have murdered right here, judging from the pattern of the blood splatters in the soles of the sandals. And, even though not many people take this road, the body is right in the middle of it. It's very unusual to see a culprit who would bludgeon their victim until their face was completely destroyed. Also, can you look at her arms? Oishi put on latex gloves and lifted the corpse's arm. See? Spotless, aren't they? Are you saying that the victim didn't try to protect her head? That there was no signs of a struggle? Right you are. I think the victim lost consciousness with the first blow. Then the culprit kept beating them to complete the murder. Dang. Oh, well, I mean, he was going to murder her. He wasn't just gonna unconscious her and leave, you know? It was a murder. The victim was probably lying face down at the time, judging from the stains on her clothes. The body's face up now. The culprit seems to have flipped the victim over in order to smash her face even by that point. Holy wow. I mean, yeah, okay. Even though by that point, her death was certain. Irie, how you feeling about this? Somebody like this is in the village. Well, I guess not anymore. Seems he can really bat when it matters. Ah! See, that is a callback. That's a wonderful, beautifully executed joke right there. One, because it's referencing a freaking Satoshi. Satoshi can't bat when it matters, but apparently he can when he's trying to kill someone. That's good. That's great. Iria looked like he was going to throw up, both because of the putrid smell and Oishi's reasoning. Smashing the victim's face is clearly a sign of a grudge in my experience. It's a very profound grudge, too. That means the culprit must be someone very close to the victim. I understand he didn't call me to resuscitate her. Doctor, do you know who the victim is? If you do, I don't have to waste time questioning the neighbors. Iria looked at the body once again. He looked away quickly and thought. Then, after a while... Yeah, Irie doesn't want to say it because he knows who killed her, if it's actually her. Irie left the investigation area without saying anything. I'm sorry. I don't know. Irie straight up lying. Straight up lying. He knows. He knows. Are you sure? Oishi smirked and looked into Irie's eyes. His eyes are all fogged up. You can't see anything. As though Irie was hiding something. I'm not hiding anything. I guess you're still under the influence, Doctor. Maybe you'll remember when you're sober. Let me know if you do. Oishi tapped Irie on the back. The doctor, saying he wanted some fresh air, left the scene. Kumagai returned. Oishi-san? The section manager is on the radio. The one in the first car? Irie lied. Huh? Nothing. Hurry up. Question the neighbors. Yeah, they both know. They both know. The victim must be from this area. June 20th, 1982, 9:39 p.m. Here she is. Oishi-san. Here he is, Oishi-san. Thank you for coming here this late at night. I know you have school tomorrow. Satoshi? I'm really sorry to bother you. Oh, no, no, they caught him already. It's been 40 minutes and they caught him. How disappointing. How actually disappointing. At least Keiichi didn't get caught for like a couple days at least, right? He didn't get caught on the day of. Freaking Siri. Okay. No problem. Where's your father? Dead. My stepfather doesn't come home much. Since when? When did he come home last? I don't know. I heard he's living with a woman who works at a club in Okinomiya or something. I don't remember exactly when, but I guess I saw him a few weeks ago. Do you have your father's address? No. He's living with a woman who works at a club? Do you know the name of the place? No. I know it's in Okinomiya, and that's all. What's your father's name? Teppei Hojo? Oishi signaled Kumagai with his chin, who nodded while taking notes. Were your mother and father getting along well? Oh god, he's already... Okay. I don't know much about that, but I don't think so. I see. I want you to tell me honestly, do you know anyone who might have been holding a grudge against your stepmother? I don't. Besides me. Alright. Please let me know if you remember something. Here's my card. My number is on it. Okay. Might ask to see you again for further inquiries. And if you see your stepfather, please let him know that we want to contact him. Kuba-chan, drive him home, will you? Oh, no. I can go home by myself. Please, let us drive you home. Suspicious. There's a possibility that the culprit who murdered your aunt is roaming around the neighborhood. Well, we know for a fact there's not. I mean, roaming, he's standing, but... Okay. You might get hurt too. Thank you for your consideration, but really, I'm fine. Satoshi tried to reject the offer, but Oishi and Kumagai insisted. In the end, Satoshi was forced to accept. Turned around to leave, when Oishi spoke to him as if he remembered something he'd forgotten to say. Ojo-san. Yes? Don't worry. It's no problem. We'll catch the culprit soon. Makes direct eye contact. Do you have any leads? Yes, we do. Like what? That's confidential. Ordinary people might think Oishi was trying to cheer the poor kid up with a joke. Well, usually people get pretty worked up when they commit a murder. Though, of course, there are some exceptions. What kind of evidence do you find when the culprit's worked up? I love freaking Satoshi's expression here. It looks so cute. Even though he's like, ooh, I just murdered someone. When someone is in a very excited condition, their body shows many symptoms, like sweat, loss of hair. We often find the culprit's hair at crime scenes. Well, this is outside, so it's a bit different, but still. Did you find their hair? I don't know yet. Forensic guys are searching the scene right now. I'm anxious to see what they'll bring me. Excuse me, I have to go now. Please. Kuba-chan, would you? Sure. See you again soon, Hojo-san. I'll let you know if there's any progress in the investigation. Let me know when you remember something. Let's cooperate to catch the murderer of your stepmother. Oishi is the most passive-aggressive, manipulated guy ever. I love him though. He's great. Tips? Perhaps? Tips? No? Alright. Right, shion exists. Okay, we've experienced all that through, like, what even perspective was that? It was just that third person? It wasn't even from anyone. This is called the morning after the Watsunagashi festival to tell me that the curse had struck again for the 4th time. Victim was the evil aunt who had been harassing Satoshi-kun and Satoko. Satoshi-kun's suffering should be over now, since the problem was with Satoko and the aunt's relationship to begin with. Maybe I should have celebrated. But I wasn't in the mood for some reason. Did the police have a lead on the suspect? This went quiet when I asked that. I don't know. Oishi seems to be questioning people in the neighborhood. He thinks the culprit is somebody close to the victim. Being identical twins, Sis and I think very much alike. If I suspected Satoshi-kun of being the murderer, so would she. Because of this, I didn't have to mention the obvious. Does Satoshi-kun have an alibi for that day? I don't know. I heaved a huge sigh. Are you stupid? He was at the festival. Didn't you see him there? What? Is this the same thing when Keiichi committed the murder and they said he was there the entire time? Yeah, right. I'm sorry I didn't realize that. Yeah, 100%. Back then, they knew and they just wouldn't say anything to cover up for him, and he just didn't get it. Because they're doing that right now, but they both get what's going on. Yeah, right. I'm sorry I didn't realize that. I heaved another sigh. Sis was stupid enough to forget to make an alibi for him, even though the murder of his aunt alone would raise enough suspicion. So that means he did do it? That's not important now. The problem is whether he has an alibi or not. Well, the police are going to come here later. I'll tell him I was with him at the festival. Sis, lying out of the blue like that won't work. If you haven't done anything to ensure his alibi, it's too late now. Please just be honest with them. I can't trust your acting skills. Yes, you can. She's great at it. You might raise more suspicion if you make something up on the spot. Yeah, sorry. She sounded depressed. I was the one who should have been depressed. Mion usually handles things well, but she's not too good with emergencies. I was left worried for the future of the Sonozaki family. Mion must have been embarrassed. She soon changed the subject. I guess you haven't been able to work lately, have you? You're right, I haven't. Thanks to you. Sorry about that. I'll hide somewhere until tonight, so maybe you can work today? Since I'd been appearing in public places during festival preparations and whatnot. As a result, I hadn't been able to pretend to be here. I hadn't been able to work. As someone who had to support myself, it was a bit of a pain. To be honest, I didn't feel like working, but I couldn't afford to be sitting around either. When I locked my apartment door before leaving, the door of the next apartment over opened, and Kasai appeared. Shion-san, are you heading out? Yeah. I'm going to work, since Sis gave me time until tonight. Can you give me a ride? Shion-san, wouldn't it be safer for you to take a few days off? Police seem to be staking out the main house. I don't think it's a good idea to leave. Appreciate your concern, but I have to make money to survive. Kasai might suggest he donate money to my cause. However, I'd sworn myself that when I started living here, I wouldn't depend on Kasai. While I don't obey anyone else's rules, I stick to my own. Kasai could tell that I was adamant in my decision. So, after repeating himself a couple times as a formal procedure, he decided to give me a ride after all. Every time I went to my uncle's store by car, we stopped at this traffic light. I knew it was going to happen again, but it still irritated me. Pedestrians passed in front of the car. I was startled to see that one of them looked like Satoshi-kun. It was him. Though I'd spoken with him on the phone just a couple days before. It'd been a while since I saw him last. Kasai, sorry, but could you tell my uncle that I can't come today? I'm getting off here. What? Shion-san. Kasai looked taken aback, but I got out of the car regardless. The light turned green. The car behind him honked while Kasai was shouting at me, so he had to start moving. Satoshi-kun was on his bike, but he was going really slowly. I caught up with him in a flash and tapped him on the back. Hello. Surprised to see you in Okinomiya, Satoshi-kun. But if I talked to him with a smile, he might smile back. So I smiled as brightly as I could. Mion. He looked tired as always. But as I could tell, he was trying to smile back. My worries suddenly disappeared. I was certain I looked happy. I was aware of that myself, so it must have been obvious to Satoshi-kun. I don't know the circumstances, but you look happy. Yeah, I am happy. I'm happy because you look happy. Oh. When I teased him, he looked a bit embarrassed. It was like we were back in the good old days. I felt even happier than before. What's going on, Satoshi-kun? Did something good happen? Not really. My aunt died and I have to deal with the police and the neighbors. I might have asked something dumb. Did you do it? Did you have anything to do with that by any chance? He seemed okay with it though. Frowned a bit at first, but Satoshi-kun continued smiling gently. He looked worn out, but satisfied, like he had accomplished something great. That was the mood I sensed from him. So, I was convinced. The one who killed that wicked aunt who tormented Satoko was him. I had absolutely no proof, but I knew it intuitively. So I omitted all those questions. I knew Satoshi-kun's motive for killing his aunt and how badly he was driven into a corner. I knew the environment and the situation he was in. And I knew Satoshi-kun's feelings. I knew all of that. So I omitted all those questions. I wanted to celebrate his release from the curse, so I smiled like nothing was different, as I asked. Where are you going, Satoshi-kun? To work? That's right. I have to make a stop before that, though. A stop? I have to make sure it's still there. Otherwise, I'll continue feeling really anxious. Huh? What do you mean it's still there? The conversation reminded me. The reason he started this part-time job was to buy Satsuko a huge teddy bear. Right. It was being sold at a toy store just down the street. I recalled that the teddy bear was very expensive. Satsuko's birthday was right after the festival. I wasn't sure what day, though. Wait, didn't he say he quit his job? He did. Maybe he was going to greet his ex-coworkers and clean out his locker or something? Either way, he'd be completely free soon. Maybe he hadn't been paid yet. That's why he wanted to check if they still had the teddy bear. Maybe he was only getting paid on Satsuko's birthday. When we got near the toy store, he rushed to the display window. He looked relieved that it hadn't been sold yet. Good. Alright, it's still there. You've earned enough money already, haven't you? Why don't you reserve it? Probably hadn't thought of that. Really did need someone to look after him. He's so dumb. I looked into the display window over his shoulder. The teddy bear wasn't that cute, in my opinion. It looked huge and cramped in the middle of the store's showcase. Really, it looked more like a display model than an item for sale. I don't see a price tag. I don't see a price tag. Is that really for sale? How much is it? Yeah. I'm sure they sell it. What about the price? Does it fit your budget? It's alright. I already checked. Satoshi-kun thought I was teasing him again, pouted and looked a little sulky. There's no problem then. Why don't you go reserve it now? Then you won't have to feel anxious anymore. We entered the store and looked for a clerk. Is anybody here? Haha, nice. Maybe we can get it without paying. No, Mion. Stealing is bad. I'm just kidding. Trying to make you laugh. Do you think I'd really do that? Yes. Yes, I do. No, sorry. Satoshi-kun smiled apologetically. Puffed up my cheeks to tease him. It really had been a while since the last time we did this. In between those times, many undesirable things happened that I wanted to forget. But now I felt as though all those things simply vanished into the air around us. Found an old person napping in the back. Must be the clerk, I thought. Looked to be fast asleep. Excuse me, you work here, right? Poked his shoulder, but he didn't look like he was going to wake up. When I did that, a middle-aged woman wearing an apron came in. Grandpa, you fell asleep again. We have customers. I'm really sorry, you two. It's been very flaky, you know. The middle-aged woman shook the old man awake and told him to go back into the living room. She went to the cash register after that. That was so embarrassing. So, how can I help you? I'd like to reserve something. That big teddy bear in the display window. Oh, that one? Are you sure? That one is really expensive. You know that, right? Yes. I think I have enough. We'll get paid really soon, so he'd like to reserve it. The woman looked a bit hesitant at first. She eventually wrote down Satoshi-kun's name and accepted the reservation. Satoshi-kun received a slip of paper. See? You don't have to worry about the teddy bear anymore. Yeah. I'll get paid soon, too. Feel relieved now. Would have kept coming to check every day if he hadn't done this now. He would have spent his time needlessly worrying. Satoshi-kun looked very relieved indeed. I should have done it sooner. Usually people do that right away when they want something. It's very rare for somebody not to think of that. It's so very fun to tease him. Jesus. Yes, we love calling other people dumb as terms of endearment. Let's freaking go. Those painful days seem unbelievable now. Satoshi-kun looked like he'd forgotten everything that happened up until yesterday. Anyway, thanks. Satoshi-kun held out his hand to touch my head. Was he going to stroke it? I felt my face reddening already. Jesus Christ. Even before he touched my head, I felt tingly and remembering the last time. I didn't care about the murder or whatever else happened. As long as Satoshi-kun had his freedom, everything would be alright. I'd be content as long as we could live happily from today onward. But Satoshi-kun's hand never reached my head. Slowly opened my eyes, only to realize that the situation had drastically changed. There were 4 men in suits blocking our way. It looked as though they'd been waiting for us to exit the toy store. Okay. Hello, hello. The oldest of the 4 men stepped forward while smirking. Never met this man, but it looked like he knew both Mio and Satoshi-kun. Yeah, it's over. It's over. He was probably a cop. I ran a search for information in my head, and found some right away. Good to see both of you, Hojo-san and Sonozaki-san. I'm sorry to bother you at a time like this. This must be Kuraido Oishi, the cop who has been investigating the series of mysterious deaths. He thinks that the Sonozaki family is behind all the cases. In other words, he's the enemy of the Sonozaki family. He had deep connections with other investigation divisions in the police force, and likes to nose around the businesses in this area. He annoys the Sonozaki family enough as it is by interfering with its Yakuza business, let alone his suspicions on the series of mysterious deaths. Naturally, as the family's successor, he's not a welcome figure to Mio and Sonozaki. Tried to imagine how Sis would react. Oh, Oishi-san, thanks for your Thank you for working hard for our safety. Oh, the 4 of you want something from this toy store? A doll, maybe? I know what they want, and it's not a toy. It's probably not me, either. They want Satoshi-kun. Took a look at Satoshi-kun, and he seemed a bit uncomfortable. The other 3 cops loosely surrounded us to prevent our escape. Hojo-san, I'd like to talk to you about something. What for? Are you taking him to the station? You don't have to go with them, Satoshi-kun. Let's get out of here. Pushed on his shoulder, but he just stood there, looking pale and bewildered. Bewildered? No, he actually looked resigned. Then, I recalled Sis's mistake. It's obvious that he killed his aunt from the circumstances. You don't even have to look at the crime scene. How could Mion have failed to create an alibi? That stupid Mion must have spoken to the police without making anything up at all. She must have not told him she knew where Satoshi-kun was. If she hadn't done anything, the villagers wouldn't work to help her. It was just a matter of time until the police uncovered Satoshi-kun's complete lack of an alibi. The police were trying to corner him and lead him to confess. I looked at Satoshi-kun's face once again. He looked like a dead man. Probably didn't know he could refuse to be interrogated. If he was taken to the station and grilled by Oishi, he'd confess in a minute. Somebody had to protect him. Nobody had ever been there for him. I had to step up now. But how? Would it be possible to alter what Mion had already told him, saying it was a mistake? That wasn't going to work. If I had more time, I'd come up with an excellent idea. But I didn't have that much time at all. To pressure him, the cops were drawing nearer. Satoshi must have felt intimidated. Might end up turning himself in due to the pressure while I'm stuck trying to come up with something. I have to do something now. I have to say something. Otherwise, Satoshi might give in. I have to save him. Oishi drew nearer. Satoshi-kun fell back. I won't take much time. Come on, don't be scared. It won't take much time? He just said it. He just said he wouldn't let him out if he caught him now. Satoshi-kun, don't give in. If you give in now, everything you've been working for will be ruined. Satoshi-kun looked like he was at his breaking point. Oishi was clearly aware of it. Oishi smirked and held out his arm to grab Satoshi-kun's shoulder. I felt electrified when I saw that. That hand shouldn't be allowed to touch Satoshi-kun. The moment Oishi touched his shoulder, he'd give in. Go to the police station and confess everything. Do you want to know his alibi? Oishi turned his face toward me. His hand left hanging in the air. I wasn't very prepared for this. I just had to stop Oishi no matter what. I only needed to gain some time. It didn't really matter what I said. That's right. I want to get that's right. I want to get Hojo-san's alibi. We must not be doing our jobs. We can't seem to confirm his whereabouts at the time of the crime. It's shameful, but we decided to question him in person. You don't have to ask him. I can confirm his alibi. Oh, really? That'd help. You already told me that you were at the festival that night, and many people can confirm it. It'd be easier if we could confirm that Hojo-san was with you. But I don't think you mentioned him when I questioned you last time, did you? Are you going to change your statement now? Even though no one at the festival saw Hojo-san, are you going to tell me he was with you? That's right. He was with me. Wouldn't that be enough? I know you were with your other friends that night. I saw that myself. Are you still saying that you were with him? Oh, wait. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. This is the moment Shion is going to expose herself as being Mion's twin. Mion already told him her statement, but Shion hasn't. If Shion says that he was with her, everything is fine. He has an alibi. Right? Isn't that a little too hard to believe? Isn't it? Oishi approached me with a creepy smile. Was he teasing me because my excuse sounded funny? I don't think so. He was frustrated due to being interrupted when he was about to catch a big fish. Are you saying that you forgot you were actually with him, but just now remembered you actually were? Mion Sonozaki-san. I did get a little scared, but I couldn't stop myself. I could save Satoshi-kun if I revealed my real identity. I was aware of that risk. Grandma would certainly capture me if I revealed it. I didn't think of the consequences after that. Notebook, page 27. I'm not Mion Sonozaki. I didn't go to the Watanagashi festival in the first place. Huh? Satoshi-kun and I were talking in a restaurant in Okinomiya at that time. The name of the place is Angel Mort. You can confirm that with the owner if you want. Oishi was still smirking, but he apparently felt confused. What are you saying? If you aren't Mion, then who are you? I'm Shion Sonozaki, Mion's twin sister. Pleasure to meet you, Oishi-san. Oishi looked perplexed, like he didn't believe what I had said. Yeah, I don't know if Oishi would even believe that. You know? He frowned. I didn't know Mion Sonozaki had a twin sister. Are you trying to fool me? Not at all. Why don't you check my family register or whatever? Should I call sis? All the cops look bewildered now. Shion Sonozaki-san? Yes, that's me. Is there anything wrong? Can you come with us? You're testifying that you were with Hojo-san that night. I'll have to talk to you too. Sure thing. Please go easy on us. Cops gathered at their car and started discussing something. Looked like they never expected this to happen. I hope to be able to fake Satoshi-kun's alibi for at least a little while. Shouldn't be too difficult to talk to sis about this, then forge up an alibi together. Satoshi-kun, tell them you were chatting with me at Angel Mort that night, no matter what they ask, okay? I'll confirm your alibi. Tell them you don't remember that night too clearly, or maybe you should just keep silent. You know Satoshi's probably feeling super betrayed right now, because he thought he was talking to Mion this entire time. Satoshi-kun wore a startled expression. Though I was telling him something important, he'd apparently decided not to listen. Can you hear me, Satoshi-kun? You can't mess this up, okay? Okay. Must have been feeling deceived. No wonder. I just confessed that I wasn't Mion, but her twin sister. I really had been deceiving him. Are you upset? Why? Because I've been fooling you. Satoshi-kun started laughing. I didn't know why he'd laugh, because he wasn't the type of person who would laugh in order to hide something. I finally understand why you're weird sometimes in class. I've been thinking it was a bit strange. Aren't you upset that I've been fooling you? Satoshi-kun looked puzzled. It's like he didn't know whether he should be upset about it or not. Maybe he was only pretending to be that way. So this isn't the first time we met, is it? Well, yes, that's right. Okay. How do you write your name? with the characters for poetry and sound? Shion, huh? Huh. That's a beautiful name. Oh. Could you please come with us to the station? We can get you instant coffee or tea if you'd like. Wow. How wholesome. I didn't think that Satoshi would be okay with that. I really thought he'd be like, you've actually been deceiving me this whole time and now I hate you. I thought it would be like that, but I guess not. Huh? Tips notebook, page 29. So this is Shion's. Either Satoshi-kun was smart or very lucky. Or maybe it wasn't him. Police found nothing at the crime scene to indicate his involvement in the murder. Yet, Satoshi-kun was still the prime suspect. Considering his home environment, he had strong enough motive. He had no alibi. The police had everything other than physical evidence. It wasn't surprising that way she took the chance. Probably didn't expect me to step in. What I did was too little to avert the suspicion of Satoshi-kun. Oishi believed that Satoshi-kun had, did it. He was waiting for Satoshi-kun to fall apart and confess. That's what both Oishi and I were thinking. But that hypothesis was destroyed later on. I'll not talk about it now, but Oishi's theory will be disproven and the police will be thrown into shock. Question comes to mind. That is, who saved Satoshi-kun? I can only think of the possibility that the Sonozaki family invented the culprit. Oh, come on. You can't freaking say that. And, oh, wow. It's like, oh, but what happens next was even crazier. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay. That will probably be it for today, though. Thank you guys for coming and listening to this wonderful story. I don't know how far we are into it, but I feel like we're either halfway or over halfway. Close enough. But it's gonna end differently then, though. I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. Maybe, maybe not. I think it will end the same way. I think it'll end the same way. I just think that we'll get the different sides of it, you know? I think all the chapters will end how they ended in the question arc. Just more context, you know? But yeah, thank you. Everyone, have a fabulous day. Do not murder the people that you hate. Just a tip. Just a tip. Okay. Bye-bye.